Good morning, children. So let's continue with the chapter 12.4 Electric Switch. So we had an arrangement of switching on or off a homemade torch by moving the base of the bulb away from the tip of the cell. That's how we prepared a torch. Yeah. So this was a simple switch but not very easy to use. We can make another simple and easier switch to use in our circuit. So let's see how we make. Activity number 4. You can make a switch using two drawing pins, a safety pin or a paper clip. You can see here there is two paper clips and a safety pin. There's two paper clip and one safety pin over here, two small wires and a cardboard wooden board. Okay, and it's a wooden board. Now insert. This is how you look at the arrangement and this is how you have to make it. Okay, children. So insert the drawing pins into the ring at one end of the safety pin and fix it on the thermocol sheet or the cardboard sheet, whatever you take, as shown in the figure. Make sure that the safety pin can be rotated freely. Don't make it too hard, too tight. Okay, don't press it too tight, otherwise the safety pin will not rotate. This safety pin is going to act as a switch. Now fix the drawing pin on the thermocol sheet in a way that the free end of the safety pin can touch it. So you have to fix the other pin away but not too far. If we'll put it too far, then this pin will not touch this. Okay. So you have to make sure this end should touch the other end of the pin. Alright. So the safety pin fixed in this way would be your switch in this activity. Alright. So now you have to draw this diagram, children. 12.9 you have to draw. Now make a circuit by connecting an electric cell and a bulb with this switch as shown in the figure 12.9. Rotate the safety pin so that its free end touches the other drawing pin. What do you observe? Now move the safety pin away. Does the bulb continue to glow? Now you have to make a circuit with this. You can see how the circuit is being made over here in this. So this is your switch, then your bulb and your power supply, that is your cell. And that's how you have to make a switch. Once the switch is made, we have to touch the pin over here and then you have to see whether your bulb glows or not. Okay, so definitely the bulb will glow. Now, the safety pin covered the gap between the drawing pins when you made it touch two of them. In this position, the switch is said to be on. Since the material of the safety pin allows the current to pass through it, the circuit was complete and hence the bulb glows. On the other hand, the bulb did not glow when the safety pin was not in touch with the other drawing pin. The circuit was not complete as there was a gap between the two drawing pins. Okay, so in this position, the switch is said to be off. When the safety pin is not touching the other end, they said that this is in the off position. Alright. A switch is a simple device. This is the definition you need to remember. A switch is a simple device that either breaks the circuit or completes it. The switches used in lighting of electric bulb and the devices in the homes work on the same principles, although their designs are more complex. So whatever electric switches which are there at your home, the principle is same, only the designs are different. Alright, so here we are done with the electric switch. Moving towards the electric conductors and insulators. Children, we all know the material which allow the electricity to pass through them, they are called conductors, and the materials which do not allow the electricity to pass through them are called non-conductors or insulators. In all our activities, we have used metal wires to make a circuit. Suppose we use a cotton thread instead of metal wire to make a circuit. Do you think that the bulb will light up in such circuit? What material can be used in an electric circuit so that the current can pass through them? Let us find out. See children, if we make the wire out of a conductor, then it will conduct. If we make the wire out of a non-conductor or insulator, it will not allow the electricity to pass through them, right? So always the connecting wire should be a conductor, right? So activity number 5. Disconnect the switch from the electric circuit to use it for activity 4. So we have removed the electric switch here. Okay. So there is no electric switch over here. We have disconnected it. Right. So this would leave you with 2 free ends of wire as shown. Bring the free ends of the 2 wires close and let them touch each other. Does the bulb light up? You can now use, of course the bulb will light up if you touch both the ends together. Alright, because both are connecting wires, no? You are connecting with the conductors. Both the wires are conductor. Now let them touch each other, it will glow. Now, you can use this arrangement to test whether any given material allows the current to pass through it or not. So you can put any material in between. You can put the metal, you can put the non-metal, you can put the rubber, eraser, wood, whatever you feel, whether, and then you can test whether if the bulb glows, it's a conductor. If bulb doesn't glow, it's an insulator. So now collect the samples of different types of materials such as coins, cork, rubber, glass, keys, pins, plastic scale, or wooden block, aluminium foil, candles, sewing needle, thermocol, now paper and pencil lead, anything, whatever you feel, you just connect both the ends with these material. Keep it there. Now one by one, bring the free ends of the wires of your tester in contact with the 2 ends of the sample you have collected. Now make sure that the 2 wires do not touch each other while you are doing so. Okay, does the bulb glow in each case? Now make a table in your notebook similar to the table 12.1 and record your observation. Key is a metal, so yes, the bulb will glow. Eraser is a rubber, so no, the bulb will not glow. Like this you have to write down. What do you find? Children, you have to complete this table, okay? And then you have to show me after this video 12.1. And this has to be written and in the notebook as well. So what do you find? The bulb does not glow when the free ends of the wires are in contact with some of the materials you have tested. Yes, in some case the bulb glows, in some case the bulb doesn't glow. This means that these materials do not allow the electric current to pass through them. On the other hand, some materials allow electric current to pass through them, which is indicated by the glowing bulb. Materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called conductors of the electricity. Please underline, materials which allow the electric current to pass through them are called conductors of the electricity. Okay. Now, insulators. Insulators do not allow electric current to pass through them. Okay. So, with the help of 12.1, name the materials that are conductors of the electricity and that are insulators. Children, you have to write 1, 2, 3 conductors and 3 insulators. Okay. Now, what do you conclude? Which materials are conductors and which are insulators. Recall the objects that we group as those having luster in chapter 4. So are they conductors? It now seems easy to understand why copper, aluminium and other metals are used for making wires, because they are conductors. Now let us recall activity number 4, in which we made an electric circuit with a switch. Now when the switch was in open position means they are not attached. Were the two drawing pins not connected with each other through the thermocol sheet? But thermocol, you may have found them as an insulator. What about the air gap between them? Since the bulb does not glow when there is only air in the gap between the drawing pins in the switch, it means that air is an insulator. Children, when the two pins are not touching each other, that safety pin is not touching the other pin, it means there is a gap between them, and that gap is air gap, because what is present in the gap? It's air, right? So air is also an insulator. Alright, so what about the conductor and insulators are equally important for us. Switches, electric plugs and sockets are made out of conductors. On the other hand, rubber or plastics are used for covering the electrical wires, plugs, plug top switches and other parts of the electrical appliances which might people touch. So that is why they are made out of insulator, because they are in direct contact with the people. So when the electric current flows, they flow through conductors. But to switch it on, you need to touch the switches, right? And the switches, if they are made up of conductors directly, of course they are made up of conductors, but they are covered with the insulator, so that when you press the switch, you should not get electric shock. Okay, so children, conductors and insulators, they both are very, very important. They are equally important, right? If it will be a live wire, how are we going to touch it? You will get the current, no? So that is why it is covered with the insulator. So insulator and conductor, they are equally important. So here children, we are done with the chapter. Tomorrow I may give you the revision questions, right, to just revise once, and then from Monday onwards we'll start the new chapter. Okay.